Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. This morning it is Monday the 15th, yeah, March 15th, and I got the day off because it's been a year since we've been working from home and everyone needs a mental health day today because that's crazy. And today I figured I'd take you along for a couple days and do another reading vlog because I like reading, so I'm gonna do more of these. I like it. Daylight savings is still kicking my butt, so I've got a coffee and I made a French press coffee today, so I have 2 cups of coffee first thing in the morning. And yes, I will have another in the afternoon still. I went all day yesterday without a coffee. It's fine. I don't have an addiction. Anyways, I'm gonna drink some more of this before I go over what I'm planning on reading in this vlog because I have so many books on my DVR, so I'm just trying to go through them. I still have to read the book for my book club, so anyways, we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to intro this vlog, talk to you a little bit, but I'm gonna go back. I've been reading the books I get from NetGalley. I've had to read on my phone because for some reason I don't have permission to put them on my Kobo, and it's just a whole thing, so I've just been reading them on my phone, and I don't really like doing that, so I've been reading this one book for over a week now, and I'm really hoping that I can maybe finish it today. Fingers crossed. But I'll talk to you about the other books that I want to read and give you more in-depth about what this book is in a little bit. I just need some more coffee first. Okay, I'm back and on my second cup of coffee, so I'm a little more awake. And I don't think I've apologized for my hair yet, so I apologize for my hair. It's a disaster. I'm going to shower today after I work out later with Steven. But let's talk about the books I'm reading, or I want to read in this vlog. So it's going to be like a 3-day vlog, just like last time. Sorry, anyways, so let's talk about the books. So right now, what I've been reading this morning is a NetGalley book. I don't know if I've explained if you don't know what NetGalley is, basically publishers and authors will give you an advance copy of books that are going to be released. This one's getting released in April, and you, in exchange for a review, an honest review. So right now I'm reading this book called Across the Aisle, and it's about the 2 lobbyists in DC, and the reason I wanted to read this one is because I'm a big fan of the enemies to lovers trope. Love that for me. So I thought it would be interesting to see how they do it with 2 political parties, because to me, politics is like something you can't really get past for enemies, but I was interested. And although she's supposed to be Republican Party, I wouldn't say the girl in the story is really Republican. At least she's not in my mind. I don't really know too much about US politics, overly, but in my mind, Republican, she doesn't fit into what I know as Republican. Like religious, big corporations. She wants to pass this so they have to work on a compromise for this bill, and because he works for the Democratic lobbyist part of this Grain Act. I am talking out of my butt when it comes to politics. But anyways, so yeah, it actually is a really good book. It's just taken me so long to read it just because it's on my phone, and I just don't like reading on my phone really, so it's been taking me a long time to read it, but it is a good book, or at least it's a good romance. It's a decent romance book. I'm probably gonna give it a 3-star. I'm gonna say maybe 3.5 because it's well written. It's just that some things I'm just it's just so unrealistic in my mind, but I actually have no idea because I have no idea about politics. Anyways, I've been rambling about that book for too long. The next book that I want to finish is Hideaway by or Roberts. And this is a book that I picked up from the library purely as sort of like a filler book, I would say, because I was waiting for my book club book to come in the mail, and so I just picked this up in the meantime because I always like to have a physical copy book going, and I could have just picked any of the millions of books I have on my shelf, but no, I picked one up from the library that had good reviews on Goodreads, and I really am not enjoying it that much, but I have about 75 pages-ish to go, so I'm definitely going to finish that today. Yeah, I have a lot of books that are going in this vlog, but that's just because I have started a bunch and I'm almost done a bunch. I just have to finish them. So anyways, Hideaway is about this girl who gets kidnapped. She's from like a really famous actor family, and she gets kidnapped, and it was all set up by her mother with her mother's lover and this other random guy, all to get money from this famous acting family. And she ends up escaping the kidnappers, so the plan goes really awry, and then it just goes through her story and how this whole thing has affected her throughout her entire life. And it's supposed to be a romance because when she escapes, she finds this ranch, and the teenage boy finds her in their kitchen because she found a light and she was going to call 911 using their phone. So, and it's sort of a love story between them, but it really focuses on her life. I just am not a fan of the writing style of this book, so it's been really hard to read it. It's good in concept, but the things, they just talk in such a way that the dialogue is such a way that I'm just like, I'm not a fan. I don't know how else to describe it, but so I probably will not pick up anything else by this author because I'm just not a fan of her writing style, but it is a good story. Okay, I've been rambling for so long. This clip is going to be so long. I'm so sorry. So the next book that I'm going to be reading in this vlog is Love Your Life. I'm about 14% of the way through it now. I know I have 3 books on the go, and that's I'm stopping doing that. It's just that I like to read books in different settings. Like I really like to read ebooks in the bath just because it's easier to have it set up in the bath, and I like to read physical copy books otherwise. So I usually have like multiple books on the go just because I like to read them in different settings, but I really need to stop doing that. Anyways, so Love Your Life. It's basically about, it follows this girl named Ava. Yeah. This girl named Ava who had a bad breakup and is kind of sick of dating apps because she's like a true romantic at heart, and she's just getting tired. She wants like romance and stuff like that, and these dating apps aren't giving her that, so she decides to put it on hold and go on a writing retreat. And she meets this guy who was supposed to be there at the same retreat before martial arts, but that ends up getting canceled, so he goes to the writing retreat and they meet and they have this whirlwind romance in Italy, and then they go back to London and just try and fit each other into their life in London, even though they're very different. So it's just a huge debacle. And obviously he has an ex-girlfriend that's going to be a problem for their relationship. And it's just like a cheesy romance, love at first sight kind of trope. And I'm really excited to read this some more because I'm just in the mood for something really cheesy right now. So that's the next book. And then finally, the last book I want to read in the next 3 days is The Whisper Man. So I've heard really, really good things about The Whisper Man. Every time I post it on my Bookstagram, people are like, oh my god, I loved that book. So I'm really excited. It's a thriller, and it's the book I'm reading for my TBR book club. And I feel like everyone in the book club has read it already except for me. I just was waiting for it in the mail, so I hadn't started it yet. It's 350 pages, so I feel like I can get it done in the next couple of days. So, The Whisper Man is like a thriller mystery novel, and it's about this father and son that go to a new town to get some healing because their mom died, so they decide to move to a new town for a fresh start, and they find out that there's this dark past about this town. There was a serial killer 20 years ago, I think. Yeah. 20 years ago, there was a serial killer in the town who whispered in people's windows to lure them out of their houses, which is so creepy. And they nicknamed him the Whisper Man. But he was caught. But when they move, another little boy disappears, and it's very similar to the Whisper Man's motives in the past. Get some healing because their mom died, so they decide to move to a new town for a fresh start, and they find out that there's this dark past about this town. There was a serial killer 20 years ago, I think. Yeah. 20 years ago, there was a serial killer in the town who whispered in people's windows to lure them out of their houses, which is so creepy. And they nicknamed him the Whisper Man. But he was caught. But when they move, another little boy disappears, and it's very similar to the Whisper Man's motives in the past. So it's just following the new mystery of like what's going on. Is it the same serial killer? It can't be. He's in jail. Blah 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 blah. But everyone in my book club has said it's very creepy and not to read it at night. But I watch Criminal Minds at night, so I feel like I can handle it reading it at night. So I'm really excited to read this because this is a big change up from what I am reading, all these romance books, and then I got this thriller book, which is why I like book clubs, because it sort of makes you read different books than maybe you're in the mood for, or maybe that you probably wouldn't have picked up. I don't know if I would have picked up this book previously just because it sounds so creepy. Whispering in people's windows is just nuts. But anyways, I'm gonna go back to reading so that I can actually finish all of these books, and I will update you maybe when I finish. I'll update you when I either finish the book or if I switch over to another book other than the one on my phone. I'll let you know. Okay, so I got to chapter 42. I have about 7 chapters left to go in the one that I'm reading on my phone, but I think I'm going to switch over to so that I can finish the physical copy book at least today, and then I'll go back to it if I have time later on today. But I'm hungry, so I'm going to go make myself some food and watch some Criminal Minds while I eat. I just made myself a little salad. And I'm not gonna lie, I've just been watching Criminal Minds all morning. I have not started to read Hideaway at all. But it's only 75 pages and it's only 2 o'clock. I'll get there eventually, right? Once this is done, I'm probably gonna make my second cup of coffee and then actually sit down and read. I'm finally sitting down to read this book. The fact that I procrastinated this all day probably goes to show you that I'm not liking this book, because like, I need to finish it. I'm going to finish it, but I'm not feeling it. I even got changed into workout clothes before I sat down to read, so that goes to show you it's not very good. Okay, well, I've got about 50 pages left to go, but Steven and I are going to work out soon, so I'm just going to get ready for that so that I'll be ready when he wants to work out. Okay, so it's now almost 9 o'clock and I'm just getting in bed, and I'm going to probably read for like about half an hour. I finished Hideaway finally, and my overall impression of it was I was so close to just like not finishing it, even though I got all the way to the end. I figured out what my biggest problem with that book was, and it's the dialogue. It was just so cheesy that like it took you out of the book because it just is so unrealistic, and also it just was like, I don't know, it was just so cheesy. And all of the action in the book happens within the first like 25 pages, and the last, like, I'm not even exaggerating here, the last 5 pages. And it doesn't even have an ending. Like, all of my book pet peeves, this book has long chapters, like, so anyways, I'm gonna give it a 2-star rating because, like, I made it through to the end, so I can't give it a 1 because I made it through, but boy did I not want to at some points. Now I'm hoping this will give me more life for romance books again, because right now I need a break, so I'm really happy that I'm also going to be reading The Whisper Man, because I need a little break from romance. They're just, like, after that one I'm just done with them for a little while. But anyways, I'm probably going to read this for a little while tonight because tomorrow I'm going to the gym, and I've actually been reading while I've been walking on the treadmill at the gym. So I will save the last of the book that I have on my phone for that, just that way I don't have to bring my e-reader, my Kobo, as well as my phone. I'll just bring my phone. So I'm going to leave the last like couple of chapters to do tomorrow morning, but hopefully I'll be finished that tomorrow. I actually have another book on my phone to read, another NetGalley book, but I think I need a little break from them for a little bit, and it doesn't get released till April, so I have until then to read it and give my review. So yeah, I'm gonna go and read and go to sleep. I will talk to you guys in the morning. Good morning. Yes, I am wearing the same sweater as I was yesterday. No, I did not go to the gym this morning, so I'm having a great morning. I could not sleep last night. I don't know what it was. I woke up like after an hour of sleeping and then could not go to back to sleep until like 12:30. So there was no way I was getting up to go to the gym. I needed that extra hour of sleep. But because I stayed up reading. So I finished Across the Aisle last night, and this morning I'm now 23% done. Love Your Life. This is going to be such a quick read, honestly. It's really funny too, so I'm really enjoying it. It is still cheesy, and I kind of need a break from cheesy, but it's funny enough that I'll forgive the cheesiness. And it's only purely because I'm just not in the mood for any cheesy that I dislike that aspect of the book, but so far it's actually really funny and I would recommend it. And this afternoon I think I'm going to start on The Whisper Man because I need a palate cleanser from romance. It's so funny because romance is supposed to be a palate cleanser, but I'm using this as a palate cleanser. But yeah, I have to start work soon, but I just wanted to give you a quick update this morning. And I'll update you probably after work when I start reading again. I update you from here every single time because it has the best lighting. But work's done for the day, and I managed to read some of my book throughout the day, just like on breaks and stuff like that. So I'm now 36% of the way through it. It says I have 4 hours to go. Honestly, I might be able to finish it today. It's it's such an easy read. It's really lighthearted and funny, and it deserves a way higher rating on Goodreads, in my opinion, for like a romance book. So they just got back from their vacation and they're learning so much about each other. So like on vacation, they decided that they wanted to like live in this bubble and like not learn each other's names, not learn anything about each other, just like spend time with each other. And they say they fell in love, but how can you really fall in love without knowing someone? So I'm guessing that's the whole idea. And anyways, they're getting to know each other now, back in the city, back in London. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I stopped off where his parents showed up at his apartment while she was over, so I'm excited to see what happens there. But that'll happen later. And Namesake came in the mail today. I pre-ordered it because I loved Fable. If you haven't read Fable for some reason, I actually don't see it talked about that much. And it's amazing. It's a YA book. I guess it's about pirates, but I don't know. I feel like that sounds like it wouldn't be interesting, but it really is. The main character Fable, is such a badass, and the last book ended in such a cliffhanger that I'm so excited to read this one, but I still have to read Chain of Iron before I read this, and also I have to read my book club book, so it's a few down the list, but I'm really excited once I get around to it, to reading it. But I've heard Chain of Iron like destroys you, and I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for that yet, so I might be putting that off for a little while longer. I might read this one first before I read Chain of Iron. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a quick update on where I was for my books, and I'll talk to you tonight when I'm reading again. But for now, Stephen and I are going to go for a walk, return library books, and then cook dinner. Hey guys, so it's now around 8:30 and I'm all ready for bed. I did my skincare. I just have to brush my teeth because I made myself a decaf tea that I'm gonna drink just for all the cozy vibes while I read tonight. For dinner, Stephen and I had a Good Food box and we watched the last of the Good Place. It was so sad. I cried so much. It was really, it's such a good show. If you haven't watched The Good Place, like, what are you doing? It's such a, like, light-hearted, I know I said I cried, but that's just only the last episode. It's such a light-hearted, really feel-good show for when you're feeling, like, down or anything like that. It's really good. But yeah, I'm gonna read for a little bit. I did start I think it's called a Cider Apple. Yeah, Cider Apple Summer on NetGalley. It's my last NetGalley book that I got approved for, that I applied for. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to sign up for any more. In theory, it's really cool that you get to read these books ahead of time, but I don't know, it feels like a lot of pressure to have to write a review for every single book that you read. So I don't know. I just don't want reading to feel like a job, because it's like, honestly, the thing that has helped me the most in this pandemic is just being able to get out of my head every day for an hour or so into another universe that's not going through a pandemic is honestly what saved my year. So I just never want to put myself in a position with reading that will make me resent it. So I don't know. For now, I'm not going to apply for any more, but who knows, in the future I might. I haven't decided yet. But I am just going to sit here and read for a little while longer. I'll probably read some of this. The premise is that this girl was adopted, and her extended family, her two uncles, never knew that she existed because her mom, her dad died when her mom was pregnant, and her mom decided to give her up for adoption. I'm not sure if it hasn't explained yet what has happened to her mom. I think her mom has died, but I'm not 100% sure. But so the only person she had told was her grandma, and when her grandma died, she wrote in her will that this girl existed. So she goes to this family's like house, and yeah, I'm not 100% sure what happens after that, but that's the premise of this book, and it sounds like a really sweet story about family, but I know there's romance in it because I only applied for romance books from NetGalley, so I'm excited to read more about it. I also don't know if I'll get any more NetGalley books just until I can figure out how to get it on my Kobo, because I really don't like reading on my phone. I'm probably going to talk to you guys in the morning because I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the cozy vibes of a nice warm tea and a good book. Good morning, guys. So it's now Wednesday and this is the last day I'm going to make this vlog. I forgot to update you this morning on where I've gotten reading, but I really didn't get that much done because I was really tired this morning and had a hard time like concentrating on words, so you know those mornings. But I got my Sweet Reads box, so I figured this is the perfect vlog to open it up. So let's do that. Take my hand. Okay, so let's dive right in. The first thing I see here is some coffee, and it has tasting notes of milk chocolate and peanut butter, and that sounds so good. And it's roasted in Peterborough. Cool. So it's Rapid Ends coffee, local roaster, ethically sourced in a compostable bag. That's awesome. I'm excited to try this. Okay, next in here, I see our bath bombs. I'm so excited for this because I love a good bath. I'm so excited to use these. Oh, okay. It is Good Juju bath bombs, and they are a Canadian company. So that's awesome. Next, next thing I see in here. Okay, I definitely thought this was candy at first, but it's soap. Oh my god, it smells so good. Oh, it's Canadian maple soap. But tell me that doesn't look like a piece of coffee cake. Oh my god. Oh, cool. The label has seeds in it too. So you can plant the label. Oh my god, this box is so cool. Okay, so the maple soap bar was by Soap Bath Co. And I'm so excited. It's a Canadian company. It's Canadian soap, obviously. Next up we have the snack, and it's also by Walton Farmwood Farms, and it's chocolate covered jujubes. Oh my gosh. So this is by Walton Wood Farms, and that sounds amazing. Steven loves jujubes, so. Okay, so next we have a little tea towel, a little Canada tea towel. That's so cute. Oh, well, they call it a dish towel. I call it a tea towel. It's by the brand Danica, and it's a Canadian company. Actually, every single thing in the box this week is Canadian. Even the book is Canadian, by a Canadian author. So cool. Next we have this poutine snack. So it makes basically gravy, because poutine sauce is just gravy. I'm gonna have to try this out, see if it's good gravy. And then by that same company, we have burger seasoning. That's what cool. I'm excited to try this one out too then. And then finally, last but not least, is the book. And I love when the author includes a letter in the box. I just think it just makes it feel more personal, I guess. It's really cool. So it's called A Town Called Soulless, and this is the prettiest book ever. I've just been talking about how I need more color in my bookshelf too, because right now like basically all my books are black. So let me just give you a quick synopsis of the book, and then I need to get back to work. In a world where we could all use some solace comes the remarkable story of Rose, Liam, Elizabeth, and Moses, and the ties that bind them together. Set in the 1970s, the novel begins with a runaway 16-year-old girl and a new man moving to town. From there, the novel explores how family, grief, and love can come in many forms. Mary Lawson is a gifted Canadian writer. Her novels have remarkable characters, relatable Canadian settings, and tell stories we love. We know you will love this novel too. And the items in the box were chosen to represent Canada and small town living. This has probably been my favorite box that I've gotten so far. I'm so excited. Ooh, it's really big. writing. I don't know if you can see that. So this is, although it is it's less than 300 pages and huge writing, so this will take like no time to get through. I'm really excited to read this.
Hold it tight. Look at the paintings, I'll be your guide. Don't stop looking in my eyes.
Good morning, guys. It's now Thursday, and I'm sorry I didn't vlog very much yesterday, but it was just a really busy work day, so I ended up working late, and also I really didn't read much yesterday. I slept in the morning, so I didn't get to really read that much in the morning, and I really only read in the bath last night, like I showed you. I read about 15% of Love Your Life, so I'm now at 56%. But I did go to the gym this morning, so I read on the treadmill, and I decided to read just the NetGalley book, Cider Apple Summer, and I am now 17% of the way through there. So I read quite a bit of that this morning, and I also decided I wanted to start The Whisper Man this morning because I really wanted to just read like a physical copybook when I got home. So I'm 5 chapters into this book now too. To me, it's not even about the stories. I just really like to read different formats for different occasions. Like at night, I like to read my Kobo in bed because it has the night light, and I can just turn it off as soon as I get tired enough to fall asleep. And also, I like to read this in the bath, but I like to read this in the morning. But there's just something about physical copy books that I just love to always have one going. And then I've already talked about how I don't like reading on my phone, but NetGalley's on my phone. But it is convenient for the gym too. So that's that. Anyways, I'm gonna end the vlog here. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna keep making these reading vlogs just because I find them a lot of fun and I like to watch them. So I figured I'm just gonna keep making them. If you don't like them, then you can just skip over them. I promise that I won't be offended. I know a lot of you subscribe to my channel for more content. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And today's question of the day, if you made it to the end, is: if you made it to the end, in 3 words, describe your spirituality. So for me, is just in 3 words. I don't know, that's hard for only 3 words. I would just say a higher power, because I grew up going to church, but I don't necessarily believe, and I definitely don't believe all the teachings in the Bible. So, and I'm not really religious now. So, I would just say that I believe in a higher power. That's my spirituality, not necessarily any one thing. But yeah, let me know in the comments. 3 words. This is a touchy subject, so if you don't feel comfortable sharing, I totally understand. But describe your spirituality in 3 words. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.